Let's try one.
It's taken a long time for us fans to finally get a Bruce Springsteen biopic, but I have to say, it was worth the wait. Scott Cooper's Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, is a deeply felt observation of Springsteen as a young artist, with him having already broken into the mainstream, but not yet a global superstar. So this takes place after a whirlwind tour for his album The River. Springsteen returns to New Jersey and starts composing what will eventually become 1982's seminal Nebraska, which was recorded in a bedroom on a 4-track recorder and has widely been hailed as one of the Boss's defining works. So what this movie does so well is that it tackles the mental toil that kind of rising stardom would take on someone like Springsteen, with the movie centering around his attempts to reconcile his past, where he grew up with a complicated, sometimes abusive father, with his present, where he seems bound for the greatness that he's not sure he really deserves or can handle. While no one would ever say that Jeremy Allen White of The Bear is a dead ringer for Springsteen, as a fan of the Boss going back to my childhood, I can say that, to me anyway, he captures the essence of the man. Why has Springsteen resonated so much for so many people over the years? The answer to me has always been his authenticity, and both Deliver Me From Nowhere and White's performance have that quality. Now, this isn't your traditional biopic charting the rise to fame. There are no scenes where Bruce is putting together the E Street Band or meeting Steven Van Zandt for the first time. In fact, they're only briefly featured in the movie. Rather, it chronicles a darker chapter in his life as he works on a very specific project. While not his most famous or successful album by a long shot, Nebraska is still perhaps his defining work, and the movie shows how it helped pave the way, mentally, for Springsteen to handle the next phase of his career. Indeed, his next album would catapult him into superstardom. Cooper takes his time showing Bruce's creative process, and White is convincing as the sweat-drenched singer on stage, both in his full boss persona and then offstage in his more quiet, introspective moments. Perhaps the most controversial element in the film is that White does his own singing, and while he's not able to capture the magic of Springsteen, who can, his rendition sounded pretty good to me, even if, having listened to the original so many times, it's still a bit off-putting to hear full studio versions of songs like I'm on Fire on the soundtrack with White's vocals. He sounds good though, and, most important, I believed his portrayal. He's also very well supported by Jeremy Strong as Bruce's longtime producer and manager John Landau, who remains his advocate during the whole process and gives a quiet, nurturing aspect. Odessa Young is also quite good as Faye, a New Jersey friend of Bruce's with whom he shares a brief relationship. Other actors, including Mark Maron as an engineer at the Power Station studio, have smaller parts but are very effective. Through it all, though, the attention is squarely on Bruce and his creative process, which is where it needs to be. It's a vulnerable portrait of an artist, known for how real and empathetic he is, so it's fitting that the biopic he gets has the same kind of resonance. I give this one a strong 8 out of 10.